A man must be capable of handling himself regardless of the situation. There are certain skills that every man should master, no matter the era we live in. Some people may watch this video and label it as toxic masculinity, which is understandable given that we're currently facing a pandemic of weak men. These men have been conditioned to believe that men and women are exactly the same. In this video, we'll explore 6 essential skills that every man needs to master in life. Number 1. Knowing how to fight. Doesn't matter if you're a businessman, a doctor, or a comedian. If you don't know how to fight, you're missing a crucial aspect of masculinity. Engaging in brawls or street fights is something everyone should avoid. But that doesn't mean you should ignore the basics of fighting. Let's consider a scenario that could happen to you someday. You're walking down the street with your wife, and a guy walks by and slaps her on the butt. What would you do in that situation? You can't just rely on calling the police, as you won't stand around waiting for them to arrive. You could choose to ignore it entirely, but doing so would cost you both your woman's respect and your own self-respect. No one should be able to lay hands on the people you care about without facing consequence. You'd be shocked at how many men today would choose to ignore such a situation and then rationalize their inaction. One of your duties as a man is to protect those you care about. And by ignoring a situation like this, you sacrifice your own honor and abandon your role as a protector. Remember this: never start a fight if it can be avoided. But if you find yourself in a situation where you have no choice but to defend yourself, you'd better know how to deliver a solid punch as quickly as possible. If done right, a knockout blow will end the confrontation. However, if you do it wrong, you'll end up hurting yourself more than your opponent. Don't fool yourself into thinking you can fight. Actually learn how to fight. Number 2. The ability to diffuse conflict. This skill is directly linked to knowing how to fight. No matter how strong or skilled you are in fighting, you should always try diplomacy and stern persuasion to calm down an escalating situation. Knowing how to de-escalate or break up a fight makes you a leader. It's like how all the male gorillas stop their antics when the alpha male walks in. The alpha male maintains order because of who he is. The ability to diffuse conflict can only be truly mastered by someone who can also be dangerous, which is why knowing how to fight and the ability to diffuse conflict go hand in hand. Number 3. Have a strong presence. Have you ever noticed that some men have a commanding presence? A presence that earns respect the moment they walk into a room without saying a word. What if I told you that this isn't some magical gift, but actually a skill that can be learned? This presence is an accumulation of many small habits and actions. You need to be a strong man with a firm handshake. Make eye contact when you talk to people, and walk with your chest out. When you make eye contact with another man, nod your head and acknowledge him. The truth is, charisma is a learned behavior. Skill developed much like learning to walk or practicing vocabulary when studying a new language. Now, I will say that a lot of guys fake these behaviors, and it never works. Everyone can spot a faker. Don't be the guy who squeezes hands too hard or stares people down to intimidate them. The best way to learn this skill is to surround yourself with real men, observe what they do, and learn from them. This could be your father, a mentor, or other men, such as those in a fighting club. Fighters are often the most respectful and peaceful men, yet they command respect and carry themselves well. Number 4. Deep, critical thinking. The ability to think deeply on a range of topics will help you become a much better conversationalist, and it will also improve your overall quality of life by enabling you to make better decisions. The first step in critical thinking is to consider more than one point of view. As I always say on this channel, don't believe everything you're told, but also don't believe everything you think you know. It's easier said than done, but critical thinking requires you to set aside your own opinions and biases and be open to new information. Just because you've always done something a certain way doesn't mean it's the right way. Question your assumptions and beliefs. Be open to different perspectives and the validity of other arguments. You might just learn something new. Number 5. Being good with your money. Perhaps the greatest failure of our education system is the lack of financial education. Most guys go through life without a clue about how to manage money, make sound financial decisions, or set themselves up for financial freedom. We're raised to believe that earning a salary from a job is the only way to make a living. However, if you can start shifting your financial mindset, you can begin making changes for the better. A famous finance book that has helped many people view money from a different perspective is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Start learning about money as soon as possible. This is a crucial life skill. Number 6. Learn to manage stress. How well you handle stress is directly linked to your success in life. The man who panics and crumbles under pressure will never outperform the one who remains calm and rational during tough times. Stress affects everyone, and as a man, you'll face more and more responsibilities. Many stressful situations arise because we procrastinate. If you find yourself always doing things at the last minute, feeling rushed and trying to catch up, you're likely procrastinating. Take control by writing down everything you need to do and the deadline. Just the act of writing out your tasks can help reduce your stress levels. Prioritize the tasks that are urgent and important, and give each one your full attention until it's completed, or moving on to the next. Soon, you'll be working in a proactive mode rather than a stressed, reactive one. Both men and women should aim to become stronger, but women are more easily forgiven for not handling pressure well. Men are not. Men carry the burden of performance, and as a man, you must be able to deal with pressure without complaining. This channel is here to help you become strong in all areas of life. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe buttons. Till next time.